Hey everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Snapchat featuring yours truly and Cozy on the other side there. Cozy, how you doing today?
What's up, man? Good. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to finally do a collaboration together, dude. Love your content, and I'm honored to be here.
Are you kidding me? Okay, so listen, I gotta be honest. Before we even talk about anything, I gotta tell you guys right now, I'm actually nervous. I'm nervous bringing Cozy onto the channel because once you see how good his stuff is, when you watch his side of this video, you're gonna like look at my stuff and be like, bruh, this is filth. Like his stuff is so good. It's so good.
Come on, man.
I don't know. I can't stop watching it. I can't stop watching it. You're gonna see a lot of Cozy on this channel because I absolutely love the content. It's unbelievable. Your tier lists are incredible. I don't know. I could talk about them all day, but anyways, I digress. Let's talk about what we're doing today. So basically what we're doing today is it's a brand new series we're going to be doing weekly, Cozy and I. And what we're doing is basically it's like a video podcast. I mean, it can be just a regular podcast if you want. If you just want to put your phone down and listen, it's up to you, right? I mean, I'm not going to stop you. But basically what we're going to do is we have each 3 topics we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about, if you're watching this video right now, we're going to talk about the 3 under my name, which is we're going to talk about ranked matchmaking in Marvel Snap. We're going to talk about Marvel Snap's incredible free-to-play design. And then we're going to talk about, is pool 3 too big, and just generally a discussion about pools. And then after that, you got to go over to Cozy's channel where you're going to see the next 3 points of discussion, where we talk about the most fun card abilities, the greatest turn 6 closers, and the best and worst locations. I got to tell you, like, we have an absolutely phenomenal kind of, series planned for you. You guys got to check out this series moving forward. We're going to be posting weekly, and I'm telling you right now, it's going to get spicy. Cozy, what do you think?
Dude, I'm pumped. I'm excited to where this series will go because, like, down the line when they release, like, friendly battles, we can do stuff where we, like, take viewer suggested comments of, like, decks, and we both face each other, and I think there's a lot of huge options to go with and just fun conversations. You know, I love deck guides, man. I love deck guides. I love those kind of videos, but I love discussion, and I love to just talk about the game that we both like, man. So let's hop into that first. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. I'm glad you brought that up because, like, yeah, we do a lot of deck guides and stuff like that, but like, there's so much to Marvel Snap that, like, just being able to like talk about it in a way and like talk about some of the challenging things, like the ranked matchmaking and other things that, like, you know, it doesn't make like necessarily make like a great single video topic, but to actually talk about it as a community and like discuss it in the comments section, I think is super valuable
100%.
Because like these are things like we all love this game. If you're watching this video right now, you love this game, and these discussions help inform, you know, the people in charge to maybe make the game better. Like they want to make the best game they can for the community. And I think these discussions help with that, right?
100% agree. Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll, just as a reminder, okay, this is going to be weekly, and the second half is going to be on Cozy's channel, and that'll be linked in the description and in the comment section, pinned comment. It's also worth noting that in the comment section, guys, give us feedback, both on my video and on Cozy's. Like, we really would love to hear your opinions, other points of discussion you'd like for us to cover, things that you thought worked, things you didn't. Give us everything, because we want to make this series like one of those series you know you can turn to for amazing Marvel Snap content, and we do that with your help, because this is the first one, but there's many more coming, because this game is only going to get better.
Yes, sir.
And this content is
sir.
only going to get better.
All right, yes sir, let's do it. Let's get to the ranked matchmaking, dude. I'm pumped.
All right, so ranked matchmaking. So let's talk about ranked matchmaking. So basically, everyone's playing ranked right now, whether you realize it or not, because there is no other option. Yeah. The game is still in early access on PC. On mobile phones, it's in full release. However, the team at Second Dinner has said that they want to kind of create more modes, right? There's you know, a P2P mode coming out where you can 1v1 guys, you know, but right now they have plans for casual matchmaking, but we just have ranked. The issue is that ranked matchmaking might not actually function as most people think. I actually did a video about this recently where I said it was one of the biggest problems currently in Marvel Snap. And the reason why I bring this up is because, in case you don't know, you're not actually matched by rank. Now, Cozy, have you ever played, like, I don't know, like Overwatch or Call of Duty or something like that?
Yes, definitely. Overwatch is one of my favorites, man, for sure.
So in Overwatch, you got a rank. In Dota 2, you have a rank. In League of Legends, you have a rank. And then you match based on that rank. So people that play competitive games are very much used to that. I mean, heck, Hearthstone has ranks, right?
Yeah, right.
And we're so used to being matched based on rank. But currently, as of recording, Marvel Snap doesn't actually, like, match make based on ranking. I mean, I think it has some sort of impact. Like, it's not going to be completely wild. But generally speaking, you're going to be matched on your collection level.
Yeah.
And why this is so interesting is because it's creating a situation where, you know, you have people that are suppressing their collection levels to rank. And then you have other people that are just like they want to collect and participate in the game,
Yeah.
and they're in a situation where they kind of like push themselves higher into fiercer competition. And it's one of those things that has no right answer. Like, what do you do? Like, is it okay to suppress your rank, push the ranks as much as you can, and then, but then again, like, do you really want to punish people for pushing their collection levels higher and facing fiercer competition? Like, what are your thoughts on it? It's such a complex topic to discuss, but I think it's perfect for this kind of
Yeah,
space
dude.
for us to discuss it.
So I think it's funny. Like for me, myself, like I didn't even think about it. I just wanted more cards. Like I like the card collecting aspect of like getting a new one. So for me, like I was just bursting through, trying to not hold back my pools to get to the next pool. I was, ranks will come along the way. I wanted to kind of like Overwatch, right? Learn as many cards as possible, learn as many decks as possible, so that I know how to counter and learn the best strategies. I would say overall, pool 1 and 2, people like to suppress their going to the next pool so that they can kind of beat up because they have all the cards on the current pool that they're in. I think it's interesting. Right now, it does base on collection level. I think that if they did a mix of the two, maybe with rank and collection level, then you have a little bit more fair, especially towards the top. And I think leaderboards are important. They did release that roadmap where they said what they're working on now and what they want to work on in the future. And I think future has leaderboards, so that'll be great, down the line. But I agree. I think it's important in general just to have matchmaking that feels fair, right? And this is with every game. I think right now with Modern Warfare 2, like skill-based matchmaking is like this hot subject right now. Like people want to just stomp on the noobs per se, and it's a tough balance. I think it's a tough balance to figure out, but at the same time, I've never felt like I'm always going against someone that has much more of an edge over me. Going into pool 3, that's where it feels probably the worst because pool 3, you can get cards like Baron, who's an awful card, or not the best. And then the guy that you're going up against has Hella and Hellcow, and all of a sudden you're going against these insane decks early on. But that's kind of the, when I was pulling Pokemon cards, I didn't have a Charizard, and I kind of, did with, I made with what I had,
Yeah, and actually, it's a good point because I think that a lot of people get really tied up with the collection score, and they get frustrated because like, oh, that guy has Hella, I don't. But it's also important to note that like the other person's deck you're against isn't perfect either. Like they don't have the optimal meta deck either. They're making the best they can with what they have. So it is one of the merits of the collection system because I think that like having the design space to be able to say, okay, this is the the cards I have. This is the archetype I want to build towards. How do I actually kind of make it work for me?
Yeah.
Net decking will never be perfect in Marvel Snap. I think that's ultimately a good thing, honestly.
Yeah, I'd like to think people, I mean, it's going to go in the next subject, but I like that people can't swipe a credit card and get all the cards of the game. You have to play it.
100%.
You have to play it.
And one thing I just want to say before we move on from ranked matchmaking is that, there's something that I brought up before, which was kind of like, and I am interested in your opinion on it. It's like, it's a bit of a touchy subject, but it kind of struck me like right in the feels when I saw, and maybe this is a teacher in me, like by trade, I'm a teacher, right? So like,
Okay.
I like education first. And then I saw like we had even content creators and streamers and they're making free to play accounts, right? And they're like crushing new players. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. And I had a couple message me and they're like, but like it's for education. It's to help the new players. But in my head, I'm like, Cozy, that is like being a gym teacher. That is like being a wrestling coach and power bombing one of your students to show the other students what being knocked out looks like.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I actually did. I like this. So I struggle with this myself. I was like, do I make a new account to show? Because, okay, I'm going to, as a content creator, you'll know when I'm trying to show off a pool 2 Devil Dinosaur deck and I'm going up against maxed out pool 3 decks, it sucks. Yeah, it does. The content's a bit harder to film. But I didn't make a new account. I get in a way where the creators came from. They want to show people, just pool 1 cards and how you can make them work together. I think the issue with that, though, is that you won't be playing the same way that they play because you won't know the game as well, and you are. They're stomping, right, with these decks. I didn't do it. I completely understand it, too, because it does. It feels like, a high school team going against, like, the New England Patriots and just, like, just getting stomped all together. And yes, I think that it won't be as big as a problem in the future, but right now at launch, it's a bit more apparent.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I think there is merit on the other side too, right? Like the games are a little more genuine because like you're playing beginner decks and actual beginners may not be facing off against Patriots, and Mystiques, right? So the space for variance is way higher in the videos that we're producing in Pool 3 for the beginners. So I totally do get it, but like I see it as like, the way the matchmaking is working right now, like I would like to see like those types of, I don't want to call them exploits, but those types of things to kind of get resolved over time. And maybe it's something that just it resolves itself as people start collecting variants that they like and start raising their collection level. And those things might just completely resolve themselves. But let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's go. Let's go to
a very beautiful topic, from one that was a little more challenging to discuss to one that, I mean, I can't stop talking about, and that is Marvel Snap's incredible free-to-play design. Cozy, is this not one of the best elements of the game?
Dude, so I come from another mobile game before Marvel Snap, and it was a gotcha style game, okay? And that's what's big in the mobile markets. This is by far the biggest feedback I've gotten from people that barely even play mobile games. Is they see mobile game, they're like, I'm gonna have to spend thousands of dollars to have fun in the game. Dude, they knocked it out of the park with this. They experimented stuff in beta. We both know that. But like, I thought there was gonna be some type of other monetization thing coming, and maybe in the future there will be. The fact that they've really though just doubled down on just kind of what works in Fortnite. You look at Fortnite, it's skins. If you look at Overwatch, skins. This game is so incredibly free-to-play friendly. And again, what we talked about earlier, you can't just log in and say, I'm going to spend $1,000 because I'm a rich guy and get all the cards and stomp my way to the top. They've got to play. They've got to wait, because even if you want to spend money in this game, it still caps you at a certain amount. Dude, I love it. What are your favorite aspects of it being free-to-play?
I remember playing Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean, one of the creative directors of that game, I mean, you might know him. His name was Ben Brode. And the thing I think that makes Marvel Snap so good is that clearly they learned from games that came before, right? They clearly took lessons from the Hearthstones, the Runeterras, hell, even the Artifacts, which apparently took no lessons from anybody. Rest in peace, Dota 2 Artifact. But anyways, they learned lessons. And one of the lessons they learned, I think, but do you know, honestly, I don't know if you played Hearthstone, but do you know what the most powerful card in Hearthstone was?
Oh, I played a good amount. But I'm trying to, I'm caught off guard.
It was your credit card, Cozy.
Oh my!
It's a joke. No. Boom! How's that for a Heimdall debate?
Dude,
Yes, it was a credit card. Was the most powerful card in Hearthstone.
Yeah, without question, man.
That and Dr. Boom.
Yeah,
that's a whole other conversation.
The early days. Yeah, no, but it's 100% true, man. And I think what's crazy about it, just in general, is that you can't, no matter what, you can't get there too fast. And if they can keep it that way, and they can keep, I think that what Ben Brode calls it, not paying for power, I think is his whole bit about it. But then they also, because this is not an exaggeration, the game that I came from that was a gotcha game. I know people that spent anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 as whales, as Kraken. Dude, that's mind blowing. That's a car. That is a nice car. That's a
very nice car.
That's a very nice car.
Those are American dollars you're talking about.
Exactly, dude. But that's insane amount of money for a full AAA game for $60, right? And those games have some microtransactions too. It's the era we live in. But they, in my opinion, let me pull it up. I think they hit the nail on the head because, listen, if you want to buy variants, which, dude, I like pixel variants, sue me. I'm going to buy pretty much all of them when I find them sold, guilty as charged. But you can't do too much. You can buy a couple upgrades. You can buy credits. I think, guilty as charged again. I was trying to do a video, so I had this. But you can only buy, I think, 3 or 2 of these 500 ones, right? Yeah,
it's 3, yeah.
There's only so much you can buy, and it's just cosmetic, what you can get from playing the freaking game. You can get variants from playing the game. Alex, without talking too much, I also wanted just to bring up the freaking season pass. I did a breakdown on a short about this. I didn't realize until I did the breakdown how much you get for free in the season pass.
Yeah.
It kind of blew my mind. You only get
legit.
A little bit more credits for paying rather than gold. This is how you make a mobile game, Alex.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, could one make the argument that maybe there's not enough hooks in here? Like, do I sound crazy to say, like,
I think so.
I would like for them to make more money? Like, is that crazy?
No, it's not. And I brought it up too. I think monetization is important. They have to, like, if you want this, bottom line, if you want a game to continue, it has to make money. That's just facts, right? But I don't even know how they would continue to do that unless it was more cosmetic. I don't know. It sounds like they've doubled down. I believe they tweeted they doubled down on cosmetic only. But yeah, I feel like they need to add more.
I don't think they know either yet. I think the Nexus events kind of, in their defense, I think caused the backlash for the Nexus events took them by surprise.
Here's my thing with the Nexus events. If you guys don't know what it was, you could pay gold to unlock these little they were loot boxes if anyone played those games.
Yeah.
Here's my issue. I think if they didn't, I believe when Ben Brode first talked about it, he was like, new event coming to Marvel Snap, Nexus events. And people got psyched that it was a game mode. And then it was
I thought it was PvE. Yeah.
Same here. Whereas if they would have just not said anything about it and been like, hey guys, you know, we love this game just as much as you guys. We're going to do one card a season, whatever, with some variants behind it that you can unlock with some extra gold. Not a problem. Sometimes it's about how you do things rather than what it is.
Yes, like setting the appropriate expectation, I think is what you're trying to get at.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, in their defense, listen, we now know that if they ever misstep again, they're listening. Like they gave everyone their full gold back. They got rid of the system. They took all the feedback that we gave them and hit a home run with it. Like, what else could you have asked for, right? Like, what else could you have asked for? A development team said, you know what? We got it wrong. Here's all your money back. Keep everything you got. We're going back to the drawing board. Like, what else do you expect? Like, what else do you ask for? I thought their response really instilled confidence in me that, like, they are interested in the long-term potential of this game. Like, they're in it for the long haul. They're not trying to make a quick buck and leave. They're here for the long haul because they were willing to make those concessions to make sure the community was taken care of.
With communication. And I got to tell you, again, coming from mobile games, dude, it does not exist. They make their money. That's it. That's usually what they want to do. And so it's mind-blowing. And it made me go, you know, all in on creating a channel for it just because I was like, wow, if they care about the game enough, this gives me confidence too. So without question, man, love the free-to-play design and curious what everyone thinks too in the comments of, do you like how it is, the free-to-play design versus the pay-to-play? Is there enough whaling for those that, listen, people like to whale, people like to kraken. I get it. You know, it's paying for variants is awesome. I'm a pixel, you know, I'm going to get all the pixels myself. But Alex, we've got a third topic to talk about. Do you want to break us into that, my man?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. First of all, there's a whole lot of players. This is a question I get all the time. People are like, what are pools? Everyone's talking about pools. I don't even understand. You know, so yes, there are 3 pools where you collect cards, and when you hit certain thresholds, you are guaranteed to have all those cards unlocked. I actually did a full video on it, and it's actually in the description of my beginner series. Anyways, the long story short is that in Pool 1, it's a pretty big selection, but you are guaranteed to actually unlock certain cards along the way, and you are guaranteed certain unlocks. And then as you move into Pool 2, you have a 50% chance with your chests to, I think they're called Collector's Cash. No, what are they called now?
Collector Caches is what they're called.
And then they become Collector's Reserves in Pool 3, eventually, I think at 1,000 collection score.
Yep.
And basically, you only have a 25% chance to actually unlock the cards. So the result is that Pool 3 is a massive grind that I think that a lot of people, like even in the beta, are like, I kind of feel like I'm just on a hamster wheel here. And the other side to it, and something that I thought was a little concerning, was you kind of brought it up before. You say, you know, you unlock, you unlock Cerebro, and you're like, cool, I got Cerebro. And they're like, you face someone, and they're like, here's my Hell Cow, here's my Hella, GG, easy 8 cubes, right? And you're like, damn it, what am I supposed to do with that?
What cards do you not have right now? So I have them all, but I was going to ask you what cards was your last cards to unlock, but I got to know, like, which ones do you not have? Because my last cards, Alex, that I unlocked, my last ones, Mystique, Death, Patriot, Lockjaw. Hey, cool. All the meta cards, right, man? That is frustrating, but I have a counterpoint to it. What were the last ones you unlocked as I pull up the Pool 3 tier list so everyone can kind of, or Pool 3 list here so you can see all the cards?
So I'll tell you the major ones that I still do not have. I think I'm missing like 10. I do not have Juggernaut, which drives me nuts because I love Storm. And I do not have Patriot or Mystique yet.
Dude, so Mystique, again, last card. Like, that is... There's
Patriot and Mystique.
There's a couple cards. Dude, there's a couple cards on here that if you don't have... Like, Armanzola, he's a fun plug and play, right? But, like, there are cards that help every card around it, like Mystique, like Patriot. It's the ones that help multiple. Wong is another great example. That when you don't get those, man, it sucks. Like, if you don't get Hell Cow, not a big deal. You can get another
who
discard.
cares?
You can form it. This is my argument though against for it, and maybe this is just me. Two things. First of all, I think the meta is a load of crap. I think that the thing I love about this game, and yes, there's better decks than others, but I love that you can win with any deck. Legit, not any,
100%.
but you can win with most decks. But here's the thing that I love, and maybe this is just myself, but why I like card games, card collections, any of that stuff, is I love the 1990s, man. I love going back to opening up these packs and being like, what am I going to get? And I like that it's so big because there's so much options, right? Like you're opening them. You don't get duplicates, obviously, but you open them and you're like, I gotta, and you're like, shit. Like I got, Cerebro. Cerebro is actually not a bad card, but yeah, I got, a bad card. I like that feeling. It gets a lot worse at 1,000+ because it's 25% chance to get a card. Collector catches are 50% between 500 and 1,000. When you get to 1,000 collection level and you've gone like 7 unlocks and you pull a bad card, it hurts. It does hurt.
Going back to what you were saying about like the nostalgia from the 90s. So I loved Magic the Gathering, and I was a terrible player. Like I was awful at it. The first time I ever played Magic the Gathering, I went to a tournament. It was at like where the heck was I? I was at like a big tournament. Never played it before. I got sucked into it. Paid my entry fee. Did the draft. Like we ripped open packs.
Yeah.
Went against some guy. I remember he sat across the table from me. He was like sweating. This guy wanted to win, right?
Yeah.
I told him like, just so you know, I've never played before. I don't know what's going on. He's like, sure, dude. Sure. And then anyways, we went to start playing and I realized that I didn't actually include land in my deck. So I was like, dude, I actually don't know what I'm doing. So he's like, oh, you actually just lose. Like you can't play any of your cards. You don't have like mana. You don't have energy. You don't have land. Like, what are you doing? Anyways, the reason why I bring this up, because you're saying that you're going back to that nostalgia, and I appreciate that.
I love it.
But tell me this, Cozy. When you were ripping open Pokemon packs when you were a kid, did you ever rip open a pack and get friggin' boosters?
Dude, that's what hurts, man. That's what.
Yeah,
I mean,
see?
I will say that.
Now we're bringing you back down to earth.
I will say this though. You could get, I believe, so every card pack got like a rare card, and that's usually the holographic. But you could get an item card, and it was the same feeling. But it's still a card. I get what you're saying. The boosters are beyond frustrating there. I get that. Variants, I'm not too mad about. I'm not too mad about a variant. I'm like, cool.
I'll take a variant.
Cool. But yeah, when I get boosters for, let's say, like 25 boosters for Quicksilver, I'm like, yo, hey, cool. Thanks.
I was just gonna say 10 Quicksilver boosters. How do you feel now?
Yeah, right on top of the friggin' war, and then your buddy's like texting you, and he's like, "Dude, I got a Mystique Patriot pull back to back," and it's just like But that's I kind of think that's kind of the fun in card games. But I get it, and I think more pools are gonna come down the line without question. Should they split it? I mean, it's too late now, but should they have split it? I don't know.
That's important. But that's a key consideration because like it's so huge, right? And like this is an advantage and disadvantage. Like we talked about it before. There's no way you're facing someone when you have 1,200 collection score that has like a absolutely perfect Hella deck.
Yeah.
But if you actually bring up that graphic again, are you able to bring up that graphic again?
Yeah.
There's a couple cards that not having is like so detrimental. Like not having Destroyer completely takes you out of an entire archetype. Not having Mr. Negative completely takes you out of an entire archetype.
Sarah, dude. Right? Oh. Like not having Sarah
Wave is like that.
Wave, Sarah, those
Venom's
are
like that.
And especially, and I don't think beta players have much of an advantage at all, really, I would say, outside of being ahead, but whatever. But I would say that beta players got access to Wave in a season pass. They got access to a couple of these cards that they got without having to hope for the RNG. I would agree. It does suck. That part sucks where you want to do a destroy deck, but guess what? You don't have Venom or you don't or Death, bro. Like Death is, if you don't have Death, there's almost no reason to run it.
Yeah,
kind of.
But like you still can if you don't have Destroyer.
Yes.
Right. Oh, but I see. You're saying the Destroy Death deck. Okay, now we're talking about two different decks.
Sorry
I'm saying literally like the Destroyer deck.
You can't play.
You play like
one of the best
armor
in the game.
and Destroyer. You cannot do that without Destroyer. So that the whole archetype is shut off.
Yep. And that is a crappy feeling. 100%.
Yeah, like Mr. Negative. You literally cannot play that archetype at all.
Yep, that is a
discard
fair point.
feels bad without Hella.
Very fair point. Yeah, especially when you have all the other pieces. And you're like, if I only had, this. Yeah, I agree, dude. I do agree to that point because again, not to go back to Pokemon again, but if Pokemon cards, they would just complement your deck. It wasn't like an archetype, right? For the most part. So that does suck that there are certain ways. But how do they fix that? I know we're going a little long. But how do they fix that?
I mean, it's if I had the answer, I'd be a good game designer, but I got to tell you, I'm not even a good player, so I don't know what you expect me to say. It's like it's I think I would suggest that like maybe it gets split up. So there's more. Oh, obviously, okay, hold on. There is a solution here. Sorry, I'm rambling,
No,
but
you're good.
it's the token system. They talked about it in beta and it never launched.
Oh,
I was
yes.
you
Okay,
know what I'm
that's about
talking about?
that's about. Okay, so for those that don't know, the roadmap. This is actually probably the most hype feature. They're gonna have a way that they're gonna show, let's say, 3 cards a day. They'll show Hela. Let's say they show, I don't know, Moon Knight, and then they show Juggernaut. You can collect, or you can pick one of those to use tokens to unlock that one card to finish off your deck. And I believe after friendly battles, that'll be the next thing that comes out. But the coolest thing about that is it's a daily thing that happens, or maybe weekly. You can freeze a card. So if you see Hela and you want Hela, they said that you can freeze your Hela. And that's the dude. Once that comes out, dude, no one's gonna care about the pool system. Then it's a huge
100%.
That's that. So they already have the fix,
100%.
man. That's what's awesome.
Yeah, so like I think that's actually probably the solution because like I don't know about your comments, but like not being able to target cards is a source of frustration for people.
Yes.
And I keep telling them like, listen, it's okay. Like you feel like you have an imperfect deck, but so do they. Like it's even and deck build a little bit. We get like I mean we both make deck guides. People are like, hey, like I don't know what to substitute for this card or this card or this card. I'm like, hey, like take a second and like experiment. Like it's so like I love deck building. It's why I'm a content creator for this game. Like I could deck build all day long. I'm gonna make 1 million decks for this game by the time it's run its course. And I'll make 1,000,001 because I'll have a new idea, right? And so like I really encourage people to like reach out of their comfort zone and try different combinations. Like I was playing Hawkeye and Domino together the other night. People like at first they're like, yo, this deck looks awful. Then they're like, wait a minute. Alex might be onto something. Domino and Hawkeye might actually be legit. That is like a very clean 6-power location on turn 2.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, I'm going to try Hawkeye Domino now. So like, I'm just saying, if you don't experiment, you're not going to have those like eureka moments where like everything just comes into perfect focus and you realize that like this game's amazing and you're better at it than you think.
100%. I think that, especially because of the locations, I think that no matter what, there's so many different things that can happen, so many different combinations that look at your deck. If it's more reveal heavy, ongoing, destroy, try to find an archetype. If there's not an archetype, try to find some card combos. Don't worry about the decks. And again, guys, like don't worry about meta. You're going to see it all the time because it's what's clickbaity. But don't worry about it. Build something that's fun and you'll climb. You will climb.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that's pretty much going to wrap us up here, guys. I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking, Alex, you haven't talked about Cozy's most fun card abilities. You haven't talked about Cozy's greatest turn 6 closers. And you haven't talked about the best and worst locations. You probably already know what the worst one is, but you can guarantee that you find out when you check out Cozy's video, which is going to be linked in the description and in the comments section pinned. Cozy, I can't thank you enough for doing this with us. I am so excited to do this next week and the week after. And once again, guys, Cozy and I, we want your suggestions for topics. We want to hear your opinions, your feedback. Let us know in the comments, guys. Cozy, closing remarks from you.
Dude, thank you for having me on here. I'm excited. And we both picked the most fun card. We picked the same one, which was kind of freaking awesome. So I'm excited for them to check that out as well, man. And excited to see the comments in yours and mine as well. And again, dude, thanks for having me. Excited for the series. And we'll see everybody on the next one.